Hi there traders, let's talk about today the major level holder and the minor ones. So let's open every USD. We've never done every USD video, so let's do it. Yeah, this one first of all, like that's no go. Wherever you see the play what is like that, that's a pure manipulation, and you have to give some time to the market to recover, you know, because you don't want to start trading inside that and even the outside, because first of all you just have to wait when we break the structure either side in the bottom one or in the top one, and the top one in that case is huge right now. This one, in that case, you see we break this one and then we have to retest and going lower, but never trade inside here. Just give the breathing time to the market. It's my day, even 1 day, you know, it's no problem to take even 1 day or even 2 days, but you have to be patient, because you know it's just, you know, stupidity. Anyway, so but let's let's start this one here, the last moment, the last breaking structure. So let's zoom in. So what we see here is the first, we create this bottom, create this high, respect this high, and respect this low. So that's our first high what we make, and this is our first bottom what we make, what was retested and retested. So let's bring those one here, and let's bring those one here. So it's very important to see like how the price is reacting here downside, and how the price is reacting here upside. So now for me, actually for me to realize to use this principle, you know, like the major or minor, like I'm not anymore using those things. I'm just looking purely the reactions and respect and disrespect. But in that case, this is gonna be definitely the major one and the major one. So where's the minor ones? So the minor ones we have to zoom in a little bit, because so first we see we create something here, because this is the retest, and we create something here, and the future it was respected, and in the future it was respected. So we're gonna take this zone here and this one here. So those two zones are now the minor one, and the minor zones, you know, back in days for me was just to, you know, to get one extra confirmation. You don't act, you know, like, oh, that's my main level, that's my main information, and it's no like that's how it's not working. So when we're gonna bring those one now here and this one, so what's the principle? So in the principle, in that case, gonna be break, retest, and going higher, and that zone, when we're gonna break this zone, gonna be break, retest, and going lower. So in that case, what we're gonna see, the price was breaking higher, retested, and going higher. Actually, we don't have to retest of the major one, we have to retest of the minor one. So where's the retest? So there was the first retest, and kind of same time, it's like we starting breaking the lows even. But what's the principle? In that zone, the other principle gonna be, we break it, retest it, and we have to go back that zone, because that's the, you know, that's the respect the principle. But now what you see, as soon as when we break now and we have this retest, we actually didn't go back on that zone. So what was happening, we actually disrespect on the principle. And why this happening? Because we have the Fibonacci play here, the 618. Like you see here, it's absolutely perfect. We retest that minor zone, but was giving the you know, the information for us, we actually disrespect, you know, this breaking principle. And now when the price is above here, you see we actually respect that zone, and now we respect the 618 principle. So this is, you know, it's, you know, the whole movement what you have downside, you know, the fear here, you know, here actually happening the quick shift of that fear. And this fear was, you know, it's a very quick shift because it's breaking downside, and then we actually disrespect the principle, and now we change it, we respect the minor zone and the 618 principle, and that was happening after. And that was the whole information inside that zone. So now when we're going higher, and let's see this zone here. So the first part, okay, let's take this one. So first we have to realize we have this rejection zone here, rejection low, where we have this huge impulse movement. What we have to first, you know, first we can just put this one here, so for learning curve we see this movement. So the first original high is definitely this one, and the first original low, like we have this huge wick, but we have to see, we have to take the volume out in that case, you know. We can even actually let's just use these ones here, otherwise it's gonna be too complicated for understanding. So again, we have the top and we have the bottom. So the first thing, again, what you see the first time when we have rejection, second time again, and the third time again. So now we see straight away we create this zone here because we have this rejection pattern, and then we make this pattern here, and that's the holder what is holding that pattern above here. And now you see we have this breaking this pattern, and we have this last impulse movement, or the last opportunity to make this principle happen. So the principle is same, breaking, retest, and going higher. That's the only zone to make it here in that current price. But what you see, we actually fail, and this body candlestick, you know, you close under this last full extension movement. And now what we have, retest and going back. So the principle is in that case retest, breaking, retest, and going back to that zone, or actually even maybe going back here, because it is possible, you know, it's very possible, because that's the thing, we have this huge wick here, but it, you know, it's too much volume there, so we don't have like loads of information here. So this place here is much more information. So now let's track this one here, this one here. So where is the other zone? So definitely, because this is the another pattern here, top and low. So here is our definitely our other low. And now we have exactly the same thing. We have the top one, we have the bottom one, and two minor ones inside, exactly what we have previously here. Top one, bottom one, and two minor ones inside. So let's bring those one more here, this one more here, this one more here, and where's this one? This one here. Let's bring all the way here, and I can say exactly the same thing. You know, this pattern, it is exactly the same pattern, but just opposite sides. Because what we see, so what's the principle of that zone here? So the principle is breaking lower, retest, and going back at least that zone, because we have to go, because that's our rejection low. That's why I put this box here, because you know that was the point where we found this energy to create that movement. But now when we break inside that energy, our major low, so we have to go back that place, because otherwise it's where we're gonna gathering more energy. That's the only place. After the breaking structure, we have here nice retest, but price didn't go and didn't break that zone. We already turned before it, and going back that mid, the mid minor one, this one here. And what was happening? Ooh, we get rejected and get rejected twicely. Both was going breaking the lows and breaking the lows here. And now we have the second. Here is actually okay. Here is actually we have the third retest even, and after that we break again, retest it, and didn't reach the point. So now is this, the same thing to realize. That's exactly the same movement with the Fibonacci. 618 here. You see, because the price was pulling back inside the minor top. That's the minor top here. And now if you look in here, what was happening here? The price was pulling back all the way in the minor low. That's the major low and that's the minor low, and we retested, and this was the 618 principle. And what was happening here? Price was doing exactly the same thing, and it is 618 principle. Those two patterns are same, but just exactly opposite sides. And the volume is different too. This structure is much smaller than this structure here. And now let's go a little bit lower. Oh, that's interesting. Like, look at this one. The same top what was respecting with the 618 retests. Where we gonna, yeah, this one. Okay. Look at this. This W is actually respecting this one. And what is the principle of W pattern, especially this beautiful W pattern here? To break it, retest it, and going higher. But that didn't happen, because. So this is the zone what we have. Oh, I have to delete this one. So now again, we have this zone here, bottom one, and now we have this zone here, this one, top one. So the principle of that zone is go at least back to this place here. Ooh. To go back this one here. So we have principle break, retest, and going back that zone. That's the principle, and what was happening exactly. But now when the prices actually get now rejection there, we see here, what was happening here? Rejection downsides, and now we're going to bring this one here. Rejection downsides. So that's, if you look in this principle here, we get rejection downsides, and principle of that zone, opposite, break, retest, going higher. But that didn't happen, And now if you zoom in, where is the holder? The minimum one here. Break, retests, and principle is this one here. So the principle of that zone is break, retest, and going back to that zone. Yeah, exactly. So now it's like we have to realize what is the major one and the minor ones. So the major ones is breaking, retest, and going higher, but the minor one for me is actually, to get this one more confirmation. Most likely don't use the minor ones, the big confirmation. It's not like that. It's like, it's, those minor ones are supporting your thoughts. Let's say, yeah, true, yeah. I was actually want to make the same example, but we already make this example, because like, you see, we have the few principles all together there, and one is, disrespecting, one is failing, and one is rejecting, and all those things. But now you have to realize, you have to see through the noise, because if you get caught in the emotion here, like, you wanna, most likely even people here, they wanna buy already here, and they wanna buy already here. But now you have to be patient, and you have to see actually what this market doing. It's a very important. So next one here. Now we break this one here. So what is happening? So that's our first bottom, and this is our first top, what we create here. Now we're gonna bring this, oh nice, we're gonna bring this one here. But now you see the market structure is much more different. But the thing is, it doesn't matter actually, because it's just a manipulation. You have to understanding, it's a manipulation, because look at that, we have the breaking structure and straight back up. So what is your first thinking if you see that structure? So my first thinking is like, we're gonna make already pullback movements on the Fibonacci. In that case, let's just gonna bring the Fibonacci right now here. Oh, here. Breaking structure, and all the way down here. So now this point is actually super important. Like when I was making the Fibonacci video, so what I was telling all the time, when we have entry here, so your stop loss is 20 or 25% above 886. So between the 886 and number 1, your stop loss is gonna be there, between 886 and number 1, 20%. Ooh. Exactly like that. And the reason is exactly this one here, because through the years I see this playing out a lot. Like example, today trades, oil, exactly the same thing. I'm gonna show you right now. So first of all, we had this rejection low here, and now we're gonna break it, and that was the first high. So I was making the zone between this first high and rejection low, because when the price is back here, so the only thing to go higher is this principle, or otherwise we get rejected and going lower and start breaking the lows. And what we see here, we get rejected and rejected. So now the second thing for me was, you see how those are going higher, and then we have this, and then we break in the lower. Ooh. And now we break the lower here, so we make this curve here, and this curve was ending breaking the structure here. You see how we break this structure here, but we have the full movement upsides. And now if we use the Fibonacci, the high to the breaking structure here, look at this one, this was exactly the same thing. That's why your stop loss is all the time 20-25% between 886 and number 1, and that's the reason. And your take profit was this one here. Beautiful trade. But to go back to Euro USD, so yeah, stop loss there, take profit down here, and after was hitting your take profit here. And now if you're holding this one here, So what was happening? We get rejected, and we get rejected here again, and yep, that's it. That's it. And inside that zone, do we have minor one inside here? So actually create this whole. Oh, actually we have, yeah. The minor one inside is this one here. How we hold this price pattern above it, and now oh, look at these rejections here, like break, retest, break, retest. Like when we're gonna delete these ones, delete this one, we see pretty nice actually. We get rejected, we break the lows, we retest, now we break the lows, and we retest all our zones here. And this was the take profits. So what's the next zone above it? This one. Ah yeah, it's messed up already because of the manipulation. And where was the tip? Ah, look at that. We have the same zone here, and that was the manipulation. And this manipulation, if you look here, we have this zone here. You know, the price was. Ooh, let's do this one. You know, that was exactly the candlestick body close under, and the retests, and this one here was, you know, the retest. And then we have this, and now we have this breaking structure, and the price was going back. Actually, we can look. Even this one, you know, kind of like what's going on here, but the same thing. You know, it's the 618 retest and going, hit the take profit here. But yeah, at the same zone, this one here is this one. So the principle now, when we break this low, so the principle was breaking, retest, and going back that zone. And the price was going back that zone, and now we're respecting this zone, and that's where the current price right now is. You know, the same mid zone, like the 618 zone, the same mid zone what was here, and the same mid zone what was here, that's the same mid zone, because I didn't, you know, I was just using the mid zone to use the principle, because that was the principle. So if you have some more questions, leave in the comments. I'm gonna put my Discord link down, and I'm gonna see you every single one tomorrow. Ciao.